Today we're gonna go over how to actually edit videos in a super simple way using KineMaster.
As I'm going through and editing this, please skip this video if you're not interested in the creative process or editing or anything like that, because I'm really gonna kind of nerd out on some of this stuff. So I'm just gonna save you some time. Tune in for next week's adventure.
But first, even though I set up everything here, we're gonna go outside because it's actually sunny out. Oh yeah. I literally have this thing sitting on a trash bin. Why do I use KineMaster and what is it? KineMaster is a mobile platform that can be used on Android, iOS, iPad, Chromebooks, and all the things in between. The only thing it can't be used on, which is a big con, is a MacBook Pro. Why do I actually like using KineMaster? There's a couple reasons. Number one, it's super simple and it's super intuitive. Now, again, I'm not sponsored by KineMaster by any means. I just enjoy using this. I actually edit just straight on my phone. I get a little stylus pen, little touchscreen pen, and I do. I used to do it on an iPad back when I was with my ex-girlfriend. It's not working anymore. I also feel as though KineMaster just has more features. I've used iMovie before. I just wasn't that impressed with it. KineMaster to me seems like it has more layers. It has more things to put in there. I don't know. It just has more features. Things work in it. You know when you download an app and you got to go through this hoop and that hoop and here and get rid of the watermark, but then it doesn't really get rid of it. It's like all that kind of stuff. KineMaster just seems to work very like a well-oiled machine. I'm just going to walk you through some of the basic functions of how to edit on KineMaster. We're just going to use like a 1 to 2 minute clip from this weekend, and I'm just going to kind of run you down some of the things that you need to know, some of the things that aren't as obvious, but for the most part it's pretty intuitive. I think you're going to get it pretty well, and you know, just get creative with it. Let's take a look.
Okay, so here we go. So say you're creating a new movie. This is what you would do. You go into media, you go into all, you got your videos there. I like to favorite ones that I know I'm going to use. So I'm going to use these two clips here. This is what I filmed this past weekend, okay? So the first thing I'm going to show you is a clip here, and I kind of want to just show like how we can trim and get rid of the stuff that we don't want. So you're going to have a clip on your timeline just like this, right? So get to where basically what you want to cut off, right? So that first part, like I really just don't need it. There's no point in that, right? Like let's just get to the point of me being on this overlook. So I'm going to go into the clip, select the clip, trim and split, and we're going to trim to the left of the playhead. It's going to get rid of everything to the left of where you put your cursor, okay? So it got rid of everything there and erased everything so it starts clean. Okay, so let's say I want to get rid of the end of this. So we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to go to where we don't want the rest of the image or the rest of the video. And we're going to place, trim, split, trim to the right of the playhead. Okay, so there's our clean clip right there. This one's actually a slow motion video. And so I'm going to show you kind of like a couple different things that you can do here. And just like, and I'll include kind of like a speed ramp as well. I was kind of screwing around, seeing that kind of view looked kind of cool. But so we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to get rid of the stuff that we don't want, right? So here I go. I'm going to go, boom, I'm going to say, okay, right there is a good point. Okay, right there. So boom, I'm going to do the same thing I did, trim split, and split to the left. Okay, so we're starting at a good point, right? Okay. So now, one thing I wanted to show here is the adjustment. You can do this. You can basically color grade, real basic color grading stuff here on all of your clips. So you can do it there, and then you can apply to all, so you can do it for every single clip in that entire movie. You can also do it with filters. You can see filter right there as well. Okay, so, we're doing good, but like where could we, sometimes like with slow motion videos, I like to add a speed ramp element to it. So I'm going to split at the playhead right there, right? So that is going to just kind of differentiate these two clips. I'm not deleting a clip. I want to have two separate clips that I want to edit. So I have one at 0.125, and then this one I sped up to 0.4x, okay? So I have two different clips of the same thing, but I'm editing them in different ways, right? Get rid of the rest, trim to the right of the playhead, and yeah, it kind of looks cool. The other thing is, you know, you'll hear like, so like with slow motion, you'll have that slow motion stuff. You want to get rid of that by going into mixer, muting everything. Here, there's like a lot of wind. I don't want that in my video unless you do want it, but get rid of that. And then another kind of basic thing is like adding audio. I'll do it like kind of maybe a further video into actually how to add your audio into KineMaster. I screwed something up here, but typically what I use Epidemic Music, but you can also use the YouTube library, which is free, and that's pretty cool. And you just kind of copy it to your phone. So here's like a bunch of ones that I've used before, so they're already in like my library. A lot of these are from Epidemic. But yeah, so like kind of just choose your best one. I'm just gonna go randomly and just choose this one by Matt Large. So I'm gonna hit the plus, I'm gonna insert it in there. Now you can basically put it to wherever you want in the playhead, but we're gonna we'll just start it at my clip, and I'm not sure if you can actually, so because I'm doing a voiceover, I guess you can't hear the actual clip. But so kind of like what I'm seeing here is you'll see the beats down there, and I like to make clip changes on the beats. So yeah, this would be actually really cool. I guess I shouldn't have deleted this because I could show you like how this actually looks when you do the video. But yeah, so I like to make like clips end or begin at the end of beats or beats dropping and stuff like that. So okay, so the next thing I kind of want to show after I show this, and after I rewatch this, I guess you actually can hear the beat. So anyway, but adding text, so layers, this is kind of called your B-roll, right? So layers is basically going to be your B-roll. You can add any kind of text that you want, overlay it, whatever you want to do, put your name, I don't care what you do, but you do that. You can select a bunch of different fonts. I really am a fan of these like condensed bold ones. I like those. You can change color, you can change how it comes in and how it leaves. A little more advanced stuff. It kind of depends on your creativity. You can add B-roll, right? So layer, media, you can add pictures, you can add video over the top of your video, right? So here's, you know, so if you're talking, like I'll be talking like in this video actually, and then I'll like actually cut to a B-roll of like me explaining or me actually doing something else. That's like B-roll, and that's how you would add it in your layers. So that's just a quick rundown of how you would do some of the basic stuff on there.
One common troubleshooting problem with KineMaster can be offloading video. You're done editing your video and you're ready to offload it, and you're ready to put it into YouTube, okay? Sometimes it'll start rendering it and it'll say error. Now don't really freak out with this, okay? Because there's a couple things that we can do. So number one, what you should do is X out of all of your other applications that might be open, okay? So get rid of those, swipe out of those, and have KineMaster just the only thing up. The second thing you can do is make sure that your frame rate is the same as which you shot most of your videos in. Okay, so if you shot it in 24 frames per second, but you're offloading it in some higher frame rate, make sure you try to do it in 24 frames per second. Another common issue, and this is probably one of my biggest ones, either your phone doesn't have enough space or its processing just isn't correct for the video. So once I upgraded from like an iPhone 7 to an iPhone 11, almost all of my movies exported properly. Sometimes now with the iPhone 11, they haven't been recently, and this is because I have been shooting in 1080 or HD, but I've been offloading in 4K. And because the file size is so big, sometimes it just doesn't want to export for whatever reason. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to go in and I'll have to like delete some old videos. As long as I delete enough and I create enough space, the error message doesn't come up. I'm able to export, and then I go into YouTube. Which brings up another common issue. It doesn't happen really with your 1080p's. If you're trying to upload a mobile video to your mobile YouTube app on 4K, it'll upload, but it'll only render into 1080p. I don't really know why this is. I've searched a lot of forums, and I finally figured out a solution. Upload it on a browser on your phone, okay? And for whatever reason, it'll upload that way. You'll see it in standard SD, but then you'll see that it's processing for HD. And then you just gotta wait almost a day sometimes and come back, and it'll most likely work, and you'll be able to see it in 4K, 1080, 720, all that other kind of stuff. Hope that helps. Maybe I'll come back, do a KineMaster 102 for maybe a little more advanced stuff on there. But honestly, there isn't like that many advanced things to do on it. Maybe I'll just kind of take you through like my editing process or my creative process. Let me know down in the comments if that's something that you're interested in, because then I'll definitely make a video on it. If you have any questions, give me a holler. I'll answer them in the comments or DM me on Instagram. Kick ass.